everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Jamrel, and today I have a special guest, my sister.
My name is Jam.
Hi, yep, that's Jam.
Jam.
Okay, so my name is Jamrel, and my sister is
Jamela.
Jamela. So we're both named Jam. I have a childhood nickname, but I will not be telling you guys that. So, for this video, I got my sister on it because this is going to be a different type of video where we just sit and talk about, what's the topic?
Life in Thailand.
Yes. So today's topic is our experiences and what it's like living in Thailand as a Filipino. So we have a few questions prepared and we'll be both answering those. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Are you excited?
I'm excited.
Okay, she's not that comfortable talking to a camera.
Am I gonna be in trouble?
No, they're not. If you don't say anything incriminating.
No, I won't.
Yeah. So yes, guys, this is my sister, and today let's start with the questions. Question number one, Ate, what are you doing here in Thailand in general?
I'm a teacher. I teach at a secretarial school, an all-girls school here in Thailand. I'm a business English teacher, and I'm also a conversation teacher.
So you can tell from her diction and the way she speaks that she's really good at
Thank you.
English. Yeah. Okay, so how long have you been here in Thailand?
I started working right after graduation, actually, in 2018. May 2018, so it's my 5th year, I believe.
Okay, interesting. So you've been here in Thailand for about 5 years now. Okay, so I already know the answer to this, but for our audience, could you tell them about your background here in Thailand? Did you just come here in the Philippines to do work, or have you ever been here before you worked?
Yeah, we actually, both of us came to Thailand for the first time way back 2019. Oh my God, that's almost... No.
2019.
2009.
2009.
2009. That's how many years ago?
Like I was like 10 years old.
I was 13. Oh my goodness. More than 10 years ago, I think. And then we finished high school here until grade 12. And then we went to Davao. We went to Ateneo for college. And then I came back here to work.
So that's basically, our background. So she studied high school here. I studied grade 5 all up till high school. And then we went back to Davao City for college and then came back here to Thailand for work. Okay, so how did you get your teaching job?
I was very lucky. Back when I was in my senior year in university, I got a job offer from the high school principal that I work for, and then I said, okay, I'll take the job. I saw it as an opportunity to come back and have a job right after graduation, so I took it, and now I'm here.
Yeah, okay. I think it's also really, it's really nice, and it's very, lucky that someone offered you a job. Was that like before you graduate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so could you tell me more about this job? What exactly do you do like in this job?
Well, it's a teaching job. I'm also a class advisor. I teach 4 subjects. One is values education, like GMRC, the one that we have home. And then business English is basically English, but a lot more focused on subjects, business stuff. So how to write business letters, memos, there's grammar. But most importantly, my main sort of subject is conversation. So here in Thailand, they have a subject called conversation where you teach students how to converse and use different vocabularies for different topics, like, for example, ordering at a restaurant, going to the airport, stuff like that.
So in the Philippines, English, it comes quite like naturally to us, right? Because we are taught the language since we were like in kindergarten and nursery. But here, I think they start teaching English in elementary, right? And they don't really, is that right? Or
depends on the school, but I think the thing that the main reason, I guess, why people don't really speak a lot of English here is because they're not as exposed to English as we are.
Yeah. This job entails you to, speak to high schoolers. Is that it?
High schoolers.
So what are like the struggles of like working?
Struggles. Well, first of all, being a teacher is not easy. Let me tell you. But I think a different struggle teaching in Thailand would have to be the culture, definitely. There are a lot of things that you have to consider teaching Thai students. And since their main language is Thai, the language barrier is very, well, it's there. The language barrier is there. It's very apparent. So you kind of have to learn a little bit of Thai. In our school, we're not allowed to speak Thai, but of course, it kind of helps if you do know how to translate some words, some vocabulary, so that your students will be able to understand more. And then, yeah, I guess that's the main thing. Aside from, the usual struggles of working abroad and being a teacher, that those two would be the main things.
Okay. Could you tell me like what are the struggles of, being here or like teaching, just basically living in Thailand?
Can you give me a specific?
Okay, so I think I'll go first. The struggles. One, my sister said, was the language. So the language can be very frustrating because if you don't speak Thai and the person doesn't speak Thai as well, you're not going to be able to understand. And some people, well, not all of them, but then I've encountered a few people who will literally just walk away when you ask for help or ask for directions because they cannot speak English. And so, not to blame them or anything, but then it's just like, in the Philippines, we don't do that. Like, if we see a foreigner or someone struggling with directions, we at least try to help. But of course, it's understandable. There's a language barrier. So that is very frustrating. Another one, I guess, struggle. When I first came here was the food. The food was spicy.
Yeah,
right?
It's spicy. It is.
And I was 10 years old and I was not used to spicy food. If you're Filipino, right, we have adobo, lechon, chicken. Not a lot of spices in our food, and so I really struggled with that. Anything else with living here that you struggled with?
Just basically talking to people and asking for help. That's it. But aside from that, everybody is very nice. They're very friendly. They're very accommodating. It's just there's just an apparent difference in culture and language. But if you get over that, you get past that, you learn their culture. It's a very beautiful culture too. You get used to their food. Thai food is very famous, and for a good reason.
Yeah, it's delicious.
It's delicious.
If you can handle spices, then
you'll be able to. You'll build your spice tolerance when you get here. And then once you learn the language a little bit, it's a very fun language to learn too. It's very different from Filipino.
It's closer to like Mandarin, right?
Yeah, it's tonal. Thai is a tonal language. So if you learn Mandarin, you kind of have an idea about what that is. But if you get over all those things, you'll enjoy your stay.
Yeah, okay. So what our next question? All right. So it's you did well in school. I know personally you also did well in high school and in college, and you studied business and management, and it's although it's quite kind of connected to your work right now, but I'm sure you had like plenty of opportunities. So of all the opportunities, why did you choose to accept this, or why did you choose to become a teacher here in Thailand?
To be honest, I just grabbed it. I just grabbed the closest thing that came as an opportunity. So when I got the call, I was at first very skeptical. I mean, I didn't really think I would be a teacher, but I saw it as a chance to, it's a good start. I mean, at least I have a job right after university. I don't have to worry about anything. And Thailand, I've been living in Thailand for 5 years before college, so it's not a new place to me, and so that's why I took it.
So basically, I think it's understandable as well. If you're new, if you're a fresh graduate and you have an opportunity to work, you basically just grab it, because right now, especially with COVID, competition is kind of fierce with work. So yeah, I think a lot of Filipinos as well, they come here and they try to grab as much opportunity as as we can with the work. So here in Thailand, I noticed that the work that is easily or readily available for us, for Filipinos, mostly is teaching.
Teaching.
Is that okay?
Teaching job, yes.
Yeah. Any other jobs that you know that a lot of Filipinos apply for here in Thailand?
Offices. If you're lucky enough to find a company, an international company that does not require you to speak Thai, it's good. If you know a bit of Thai, they prefer that too. So if you can speak English and Thai, that'd be very preferable here. I also realized that there's a huge group of Filipinos in the customer service industry in here. BPO, right?
Yeah,
They call it
BPO.
BPO. Yeah, BPO. A lot of singers are here in cruise ships. I think you can hear music right now, right? I think it's a Filipino singing too. Yeah, right here at the atrium at the mall. So there's lots of opportunities if you're interested.
Yeah, and I think one way to boost your opportunity here in Thailand is to have a college degree. That's right.
Of course,
A college degree.
bachelor's degree at the least.
Yeah, so to boost, I guess, people say right now you don't need a college degree, and yes, I agree, there are some jobs, but then it gives you that advantage if you're applying for a company, and especially if you don't have that much experience yet. Another thing, if you're looking for a job here in Thailand, I'd suggest learning the language. Even the basics can get you really far. Knowing the basics of Thai is the difference between being able to get home on time, being able to ride a bus or the BTS SkyTrain versus having to book a Grab. That's more expensive. So, yeah. What do you find enjoyable about living here? Because we already talked about the struggles of being in Thailand, language, food, culture. Let's go now to the more positive side of living in Thailand. What do you like about it here in Thailand?
I remember what my coworker said, that Thailand is a land of convenience. It's very convenient here, from transportation to modes of payment to, it's just generally living. And it's very cheap here too. It's very cheap. The cost of living is not high, comparable to other countries.
What I like about here in Thailand as well is that we are all Southeast Asians, right? So Filipinos and Thai physically will look similar. So I don't know, if you're the type of person who likes to stand out, I like to blend in. So I don't, in some countries, people are gonna stare at you if you look differently. But for me, since I'm Filipino and we're all from Southeast Asia, I can just easily blend in.
We don't draw attention.
Yeah, we don't draw attention, and it's not weird. You can just walk around, and people will think you're Thai. Okay, it doesn't matter. But if you're let's say, from the West, if you're white or if you're darker skinned, they're gonna be like, they're gonna look at you. So,
like how it is in
the Philippines as well. It's not nothing bad. They're not thinking anything bad about you. It's just it looks different and it looks unique. So people are gonna stare. So I really don't like drawing that much attention to myself. And do you feel that way as well?
Yeah. Grateful for that too.
Yeah, and also I think we're already starting to draw attention to ourselves because we're filming in a mall. But
Not really.
yeah. No, it's okay. It's because we're covering the camera. So people beside us are looking. Anyway, so is that all that you like here in Thailand? What about anything new? The culture? What's different?
Elaborate na lang ako.
Yeah, go ahead.
Example, transportation. It's very easy to get around the city using public transport. You actually don't need a car. If you want a car, you can get one, sure. But
good luck with the traffic, though.
Good luck with the traffic. But there's trains in here. There's a subway. There's a SkyTrain, and there's just a normal train.
Yeah.
There's buses. There's taxis, vans. What else?
Motorcycles.
Motorcycles. Oh, motorcycles everywhere.
Oh, they're crazy. The motorcycles here are like crazy
the
fast.
kings of the road. They're fearless in here.
Yeah, but then, see, we also have like MRTs in the Philippines, but they're kind of small. Here, the BTSs are bigger, and so yeah, you don't necessarily
You can even go out of the city, like out of Bangkok.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's what's nice about Thailand, and just to add to the cost of living, one of the top reasons why Filipinos come here to Thailand is that the salary here for foreigners is higher. So it's the same in the Philippines where the cost of living is cheap, but it's just that if you're a foreigner here in Thailand, your salary is higher and the cost of living is cheap as well. So that means that you can save more money. And as Filipinos, we come here, we go to different countries, we go abroad for the higher salaries so that we can send money to our families in the Philippines. Is that right? So I think Thailand is a good I guess start, especially for people who are looking for a different experience. If you're tired of seeing the same things every day and you want to go somewhere else that's different, a place where people don't speak your language, where the culture is different, there are temples and the religion is different as well, right? So I think that's also what brings people in. So yeah, I think that's what's nice about Thailand. So do you have any regrets with coming here, living and working here in Thailand?
I think one would have to be not learning the language as hard as I would have liked to. It would have been nice if I've been staying here for almost 10 years now. What?
Yeah.
More than 10 years?
Is it more than 10 years? Oh yeah. 5 years in school and another 5 years at work.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. But I'm not fluent yet. I can read, I can write, I can speak, but not as fluently as I'd like to be. So that's it. Yeah. If there's a regret, that would be one.
I think it's also the same for me because I studied since elementary, so of course I was here longer than my sister when it comes to school, and I didn't really, prioritize my learning Thai. So, well, I do know how to speak Thai, I can read it, but I'm not as fluent as I'd like, and it really is like an asset. You can call it a skill, but for me, I call it an asset. Just being able to speak Thai fluently and read it, you're going to be more marketable. People are going to want to hire you. More companies are going to want to hire you more because you can speak Thai as well. So I guess that's one of the regrets. But I'm also, learning Thai more. And yeah, maybe I can put out a video sometime of, how I practice, how I learn Thai. So watch out for that. And if you want to see, a video about learning the Thai language, please comment below and I'll see, if people want to see that kind of video. Yeah. Okay, so next one, we actually have a list of questions here. If you could go back in time, what would you change? It's similar to regrets, right?
Change. Yeah. Maybe not really change anything, but maybe do more of. If I had a chance to, I would have studied something around the field of IT. In Thailand, there's a lot of IT jobs and jobs in anything from digital marketing to software, all stuff related to IT. Actually, it's an emerging market in here, and a lot of Thai people are really into tech. So that's an industry that we would love to take part in if we knew something about it. So yeah, IT, if you have a degree relating to that, or if you know anything about that, you have lots of opportunities here.
Yeah, I think that's but it's never too late to learn.
No, it's not. It's not. Just
you gotta dedicate the time to study it. For me, I guess one of my regrets being here in Thailand is that I didn't make a lot of friends. Well, I have a few, but it's just I'm not the type of person to go out of my way to make friends. If I meet people and they click and we become friends, okay, that's you're like a dear friend of mine, and I have like a really small circle of friends. But then what I've learned over time is that the more people you know, the more connections you have, the better, because just being friendly and nice, and well, it's not that I'm not friendly and nice, it's just knowing a lot of people and a lot of people knowing you, it just opens up a lot of opportunities. And actually I'm gonna have a separate video for this, but I'm currently working in Thailand. I've actually been working here for a week now, at my first week, and I got my job here in Thailand just from connections from a friend who was like, oh, we're looking for this type of person who could do marketing. I'm like, hey, that's I studied that, that's my field. Not exactly marketing, but then yeah. something close to that. What is your advice for those who want to work in Thailand? This is for you, all of you guys.
Advice would have to be, well, you have to be very strong in terms of your will, because especially if you're coming alone, coming to a new country can be very lonely and stressful. I've had friends who came here and then went back because they couldn't handle the pressure and the stress, and just the general idea that, oh, you're not going to be able to see your family during Christmas or New Year's, birthdays, and all those. So it can get quite lonely. So you have to remember why you came here, and you have to be really strong. You have to be strong-willed.
Yeah, I think I really agree. Is there anything else you want to add to that?
Dito, you have to be, pasipsip.
I'm not a big fan of that, but it is what it is.
It is what it is, right? As we said, we have to build our connection, so we have to know the right people. If you know the right people, they can connect you to so many opportunities here in Thailand. So pasip-sip ka lang.
Yeah, and I think another one as well is to have that growth mindset. Some people, they just like to stay where they are, but personally for me, I like growing and learning more. So even if you're in a place that doesn't speak, that is okay to not speak Thai, you gotta have that growth mindset to want to learn how to speak the language, or at least learn new things, because it's really going to help you. Just have a growth mindset, always looking to improve and to learn and just to get better overall in general, like holistically.
And one thing too is that aside from having growing your opportunities, having connections, having a growth mindset, is to learn financial management. As we said, Thailand is quite affordable, but you can buy a lot of stuff here. You can buy gadgets, you can clothes. Oh my goodness! So if you're not careful, your month's worth of salary is gonna be gone in around 2 weeks. By the way, here their salary is monthly. Right in here in the Philippines, we get paid twice a month.
Yeah.
In here, it's a monthly salary, so you really have to budget everything, especially if you're coming alone or with a family. You have to learn how to budget so that you can live through the month and save some too.
And another advice from me as well is that if you're gonna be here in Thailand, do as the Romans do. You learn their culture, be respectful, and try to not break any rules or do anything that would, I guess, destroy our reputation, because there are a lot of Filipinos here. And so it's weird because I read the news and there are Filipinos in jail here in Thailand as well. Yeah, there are, and it just kind of hurts because you hear these people say some things about Filipinos, and it's like not all Filipinos are like that. So just try to you don't have to be the ultimate nicest person, but at least just try to follow the rules and regulations, their culture, not touching other people's heads or not stepping on the money,
not talking anything negative about the royal family.
So there are those rules here, cultural things in Thailand, just like we have cultural things in the Philippines as well. And if you want to know or you want a video about that, please let me know in the comments. So at least I'll know what you guys want to hear, and I'll be able to help you out, just for fellow Filipinos. And I'm here to bring value to you guys and help through my videos and my content. So, just try not to break any rules here.
And as they say, kasalanan ng isa, kasalanan ng lahat. So if, for example, you mess up, and as a Filipino, you could affect the reputation of all the Filipinos in Thailand. So gotta be careful where we are. We're not in our country, so gotta behave.
My second to the last question at this, do you have any, since we're talking about working here in Thailand, do you have any pet peeve or anything that's not really bad, but just kind of ticks you off or annoys you a little bit of, working here in Thailand? Maybe it's related to your coworkers or the style of work here. Any pet peeves?
Not at work, but maybe when I'm out. When there's a misunderstanding between me and, let's say, for example, a shop owner and I get a wrong order because there's a language barrier, and let's say we get some words wrong, it's okay. It's very bearable. Yeah, I think that would be it. Very tiny, very tiny pet peeve, but it does bother me from time to time because I have to be careful about what I say. Worst comes to worst, just say that you don't understand Thai and you Google translate everything.
So I think it would be helpful to have Google Translate, or at least a translating app in your phone, right?
True.
Okay. So I guess for me, a pet peeve would be, I work in an office, so it's a school, but then I'm like in the marketing office department, and for me, it's the gossip. So they like to, not all, I think it's the same in the Philippines as well. There are people who like to gossip and talk behind your back. And the thing is, if you're going to be working here in Thailand, it is what it is. And some people you just can't change, and that is out of your control. So yeah, just don't mind that. Just as long as they're not like physically harming you or destroying your reputation. But these gossips are some things that you are just not out of your control. So what you can do instead is just do well at your job, be respectful, because even if they say bad things about you, you know that you are doing your job well. And you know deep down that you did nothing wrong, you did not break any rules, and you know you are ethical and you have good values instilled in you. Sure. Okay, so is there anything else you'd like to add, or is that it?
Yeah, is that it?
Okay, all right. Now down to the last question. What was our last question again? Life advice?
Yeah, something like that. Lessons
that you've learned from living and working here in Thailand.
For me, it would be, just be kind. Remember that you are the foreigner here. That really...
it's not your country.
It's not your country. You're the foreigner. You have to be able to, adapt. Be nice, especially when things go wrong and things don't go your way. Just be nice and be kind. People are very nice in here. They're willing to help you the best that they can. And also when struggles come, just remember why you came here in the first place. When it gets lonely or when you miss your family, just remember why you came here in the first place, and just remember to hold on to that strength. One of the things that can help you too is to find your community. So there's a huge Filipino community here in Thailand, not only in Bangkok but just everywhere else. There's a lot also in Pattaya. So there's a lot of Filipinos in here. Just go to your nearest church, English church.
There probably are.
There's probably a Filipino community there. So you can find one. Make friends, of course, not only with Filipinos but Thais as well. And there are a lot of
foreigners as
well. Other nationalities here in Thailand. Make friends, go out, experience the culture, experience the country. It's a very beautiful country. They have amazing food. And so many different places you can go to. Just enjoy your stay too.
Yeah, I think it's also like it could be a challenge. At the same time, it could be an advantage. Since you're in a different country, you will be forced to go out of your comfort zone. So yes, I think that's, connected to my advice. It would be to be adaptable. So before I said, have that growth mindset, and in line with having a growth mindset, you have to be adaptable because you are not in your own place. And really, those people who can adapt, who have that, they call it adversity quotient. So if you have, you gotta just have that strength to get past and to learn from your mistakes, and it's okay to make mistakes. Just as long as you know that you're aware of them and that that you are going to not repeat them. So yeah, I guess that's my advice. Be adaptable, because not everything is gonna be perfect. There will be those times when you're just like, oh my god, I screwed up so bad, and that has happened to us lots of times. But then, people don't remember really, or honestly, some people don't care. So
that's good advice.
Yeah, they're actually more worried about themselves that they don't remember your mistakes. So. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Is there anything else that you'd like to add to wrap this up? Or we're good already?
We're good.
Okay, all right. Thank you, everyone. So I guess that's our experience. A lot of my sister's experience working as well. I'll be probably be making more videos about my experience in the future. I want to experience my work life more before I make a video about it. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. We hope that this video really helped you out, gave you some inspiration or helped you learn more about the Thailand if ever you're already here or if you're planning to come work here in Thailand. Thank you so much. Can you say, do you have any last words to my audience viewers?
Like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, please.
Awesome. Yes, that's my sister. Like and subscribe. Very supportive sister. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Please, if you found value in this, and if you have any questions in general, just comment them. I like reading your comments. And yeah, if I find a question that a lot of you guys are like asking again and again, I might make a video about it. So please do comment below. And if you're a Filipino who is in Thailand or in Thailand in general, just feel free to comment.
Experience.
Yeah, if you're here, please leave a comment on your experience as well. I think it would be really cool to hear that. All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching, and have a good day. Bye.